bottom line is we did not shoot well enough tonight. When we moved the ball well and kept it moving from side to side, we were really hard to guard. We just didn't do it enough. And they made some big, tough shots. And we made a couple of mistake late of leaving Pittsford. Baffles my mind, to be honest with you, how we can make a mistake there in a switch game late like that in the game. Once we made the run, I think we all felt like we were going to be able to get over the hump. But again, you just can't have defensive mistakes. You can't have a mistake where you haven't made them all game and then all of a sudden make one late. And it never comes down to one or two things, but they do get magnified. And this team has got to continue to grow up in the sense of doing what it takes each and every possession. It never means that each and every possession is going to go great by any stretch. You can't make defensive mistakes. But again, bottom line is we did not shoot the ball well enough, and we never got exactly where we needed to be with getting the ball through the paint. And but again, the shooting numbers speak for themselves, and we didn't make enough and to put us over the hump at any point in time, even though we had a couple of good comebacks. But that combined, like I said, with a couple defensive mistakes at crucial times, defies imagination. But it happens, and it did. And now we got to regroup and get ready to go play Michigan. Go ahead.
You mentioned the ball movement seemed like it was really good for most of the game. The last few minutes seemed like it stagnant a little bit.
I think even when we made our run, when we were down 11, it was stagnant. Then all of a sudden it was moving great. I mean, there's no need to change what we were doing. The zone really didn't have anything to do with it. Just keep moving. Play out of the corners, and that's what's most important, that we do that, and that we keep the penetration. But we made our comeback, and they made some big plays. I mean, they really did, and we had a couple times. I mean, Pittsford shot the ball over us, and but there were different things we did defensively bothered them. I mean, we had some guys step up that like Devin Davis did some really good things tonight. Troy Williams continued to play better. We told Troy before the game, somehow you got to find a way to get 10 rebounds, and the guys were trying. I mean, there's no question about it, and we didn't know Noah was not going to play until the end of walkthrough, and he just didn't feel comfortable with his foot, and so we had to regroup. We had to change, but I thought our guys did a good job of trying to do that. But you've got to continue this game. I mean, the margin for error for our team already is so small. And that you just can't make defensive mistakes late. You can't leave a shooter when you're switching, and they just can't. But we've got to continue to grow up. There's no question, and regroup in a hurry.
Has this team left you scratching your head more than any other that you've had here?
I don't. That's a hypothetical. I don't look at it that way. So can't help you with that one. I come in here and I'm telling you what I see of the game. I haven't watched the film yet, but I'm not in a reflective mood of the season. What it is we've got to the self-inflicted mistakes are always going to bother you, and so that's the kind of stuff that we've got to overcome.
Pete, talk a little more about Devin, the way he battled inside.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. I mean, no question about it. Now we just need him to be consistent. I mean, that's been the number one thing of our team. Anyways, we've got to get to a consistent place and consistent minutes. And we're asking these guys, especially guys like Devin Davis, who didn't even play that much the other day, to play considerable minutes in a game like this and to be very productive. And they'll be better for it. But the bottom line is, we've got to continue to take it on into the next game. And I thought he did a good job inside of that. I mean, he was straight warrior tonight, and that's exactly what we need from him. I thought Troy did some really good things. But when you're playing a lot of minutes, and there's high expectations for no matter what their age is. When we're playing them, we're not thinking that the fact that they're freshmen that haven't played a lot of minutes. We just want to play better basketball. And there's times we haven't, and there's times that we haven't. But I thought he did a nice job. I think we'll be surprised if we don't even feel better about it when we watch the film. He was giving up some size, and he did a really good job.
Just kind of, I guess, in the reverse of that, how much can you think about maybe before you watch film, the difference between a game like Wisconsin or Iowa where you're strong late, you close out that game with the plays you make at both ends of the floor, and then a game like tonight where you do bring it back to a tie and then just kind of find some of those, you just miss some of those plays, I guess, at both ends?
I don't understand.
I guess the difference between in two tight games being able to close one out.
You mean Wisconsin back earlier in the season?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's so far back. I mean, we're such a different team. I think again, this comes down to being one of those games where it comes down to a couple plays. I mean, it's through the game that you really win or lose the game throughout the game. Like we made that great comeback, and I thought, okay, we're over the hump. The ball's going to move. But then again, every possession now, as you're going down the line, it gets magnified, and that's where you just got to be strong. So, like a great example of that game, we were pretty good about carrying out what we needed to do defensively. Same thing with the last couple of games. We were pretty good about carrying out what we needed to do defensively, and these games come down to such a minute thing. I mean, you leave a good shooter like a pitch for it open, or you don't block out late. Those things get you. They get you, and when you win, you do a better job than when you don't, and that's really what it comes down to. You make more plays in close games over that period of time. And today, when it got close, we didn't make as many of those plays.
Anything else? Go ahead.
Yeah, with Noah out, how important have these past two games been for guys like Connor and Devin and Troy to step up and experience these growthful games and play big minutes?
I think really important. I thought Stan Robinson did a really good job tonight. We're asking a lot of young guys. I mean, you don't coach with perspective, but then every once in a while you got to sit back and look at it. And I thought Troy did some really good things. I mean, he's gaining confidence all the time. Stan was on top. Devin was really good. Hotter the other night, not as much tonight. So bottom line is, will it be better for him down the road? Absolutely, but we're not thinking about down the road. We're thinking about how to win this one, and now we're thinking about how to get ready for Michigan.
Time for one more question.
Yogi obviously had a tough night shooting. As far as his shot selection was concerned, do you think he was pressing and forcing a little bit? Or
I got to watch the film on that. The ball didn't move the way that it needed to. He's got to continue to use screens. He's got to continue. When he came off and was in movement, and when we were utilizing the corners the way that we have been, that's the most important. You can't. Where we struggle is when the ball sits inside of those slots, those elbows extended. And that's what he's got to continue to grow out of, in all honesty. He's got to, we could end up in there, but you can't be in there a lot at the beginning. It's got to move. And eventually when we're shooting it better, it'll be a little bit easier. But today, again, use the movement, use the cutting, and continue to space them out, especially when they didn't want to space out. And but a couple times we came in zones and we missed a couple shots and we missed the next pass, those type of things. I'll have to watch the film with that, but he just got to be in constant movement, and that means a lot of times without the ball, so the ball can come back and get him, or so he can come back and get the ball.
Hey, Tom, you've coached many NCAA tournament teams. Does Nebraska have the look of an NCAA?
I don't know. Nebraska's really good. I'm not real reflective right now, but they're really good. So I mean, they're the legitimate team, and they've got a lot of pieces. And I'm not worried about my team, but they did a great job, and he's a great coach. No question.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Thanks.
Okay.